welcome to Medill Newsmakers. I'm Ayanna Bronner. Oftentimes referred to as Chirac, a war zone, or a murder capital, Chicago is no stranger to gun violence. And for many communities, it's a fight between life or death. Gun violence has become the leading cause of death for children and young adults in the U.S. 70 violence prevention programs split $25 million in Cook County funds. The grant program was initiated after COVID-19 to reduce the surge in gun violence. Funds are coming from the Office of Firearm Prevention from the Illinois Department of Human Services. Tony Pretwinkle, the Cook County Board President, said violence prevention programs can help individuals with risk factors, and the stabilizing impact extends beyond individuals to families and communities. A number of organizations provide culturally responsive, innovative, and effective gun violence prevention programming. I spoke to Martin Aguiano, the Director of Community Engagement for BUILD, a nationally respected gang intervention, violence prevention, and youth development organization based on Chicago's West Side.
BUILD stands for Broader Urban Involvement and Leadership Development. We work as a team here. We collaborate a lot. You know, there's an old saying, it takes a village to make a difference, so that is so true.
Beginning as a juvenile detention intervention program, Project BUILD was based on trust.
The number one thing to do when you first try to work with a young person is you have to gain their trust and respect, and so you have to find out what they like to do and follow through with what you say you're going to do, because most of those young people, they've been let down most of their lives, so they don't really trust people.
To get young people off the streets, Anguiano uses 3 keys: trust, sports, and food.
Once you're able to get the trust from the young people, person that you're working with, then you could do so much more, because that's when they believe in you. I mean, unfortunately, we can't go out there and take the guns away from the people in the streets. The best we could do is provide services, go out there, and we have a street outreach team that goes to the streets of the certain tough neighborhoods where there's shootings and stuff, and a lot of times our street outreach team, they have connections in the streets, and so they're able to talk to some of those guys and try to talk to them about alternatives and saying, like, look, we have programming here. You need a job, you need this, you need sport. We have sports year round. We have food. We have this. So a lot of times we're able to connect with the guys from the streets, and I think us having this building here is going to be key, because now we're going to be open late, and so when the crime peak hours for violence and shootings, we're going to be open. Our doors are going to be open. So we're hoping to bring some of those guys out there and bring them inside in a safe environment, and they can play basketball, they can talk to the staff and mentor, and it'll be safe. In a country where guns are deeply intertwined with race and class, discussions about them are often guided by politics. I had the chance to speak with Danielle Weber, a Chicago resident who has been affected by gun violence. Helping each other understand how firearms play out in reality is important. Or in the words of Weber, to be aware is to be alive.
I kind of got used to the gun violence. It's sad to say, but as many friends and family members that I know and have that's been gunned down, it's like, now that you hear it, it's like, basically, okay, when's the funeral? Like, it's become numb to us. So I don't know, I just look at it as, I just really pray that I watch my kids grow up, because I have 2 girls and 1 boy, and when I see parents on the news crying and stuff like that, it take a toll on you. It take a toll on the community, because everybody's so used to saying, like, oh, it's the ghetto, it's the ghetto. To me, I feel like death happens in any community. It has no age, no color, no name, no nothing.
It is difficult to believe anywhere is safe after the image of safety has been shattered by such heinous acts that are unpredictable and random.
I have a god brother that's been killed. I have cousins, friends, close friends, growing up. So me and my kids have been in so many situations, like where we could have lost our lives. Like last year, my son, he walked to the gas station in our neighborhood, and he wasn't even out the house maybe 4 minutes before they shot up the gas station, and he literally had just made it in. So, and I tell him all the time, I say, I don't know, like what I would do without you.
More than half of Black and Hispanic people growing up in Chicago see someone shot by age 40, compared with about 1 in 4 white people. The 2023 study, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, tracked the lives of more than 2,000 people in Chicago, born in the early 1980s through the mid-1990s. Across all participants, the average age to witness a shooting was 14 years old, while the average age of being shot was 17. Black and Hispanic participants were exposed to more shootings near their homes. Shootings within a block of the homes of Black participants were over 12 times higher and almost 4 times higher for Hispanic participants than those for white participants. Since 1969, BUILD has worked to save lives and mentor young people who live in the city's most challenged neighborhoods. BUILD's mission is to inspire, hope, and offer opportunities through its programs of intervention, prevention, education, enrichment, mental health and wellness, and community engagement. Organizations fighting to combat gun violence continue to address street-level violence and shootings. Thanks for watching. I'm Ayanna Bronner. Up next, Kennedy Chase dives into the perspective of gun-related deaths in schools. The question remains, how can medical professionals help with the issue? Stay with us.
Welcome back to Medill Newsmakers. I'm Kennedy Chase. Let's continue the conversation of gun violence, but this time, how the issue affects schools. Lurie Children's Hospital is doing what it can by starting an initiative to decrease the number of gun-related deaths in schools here in the city of Chicago.
School shootings in the U.S. are more prevalent now than ever in this country. According to Everytown Research and Policy, as of May 22, 2023, there have been at least 58 incidents of gunfire on school grounds, causing 21 deaths and 39 injuries nationally. Because of these statistics, Lurie Children's Hospital has started an initiative to help Chicago area students help themselves in case someone gets shot in the classroom. The initiative is called Safety Day. The Safety Day workshop is taught by pediatric nurses and surgeons with a mission to inform and educate.
Really to get out as much information as possible to our young students, even faculty members, anyone in the community, to arm them with resources to prepare themselves against any potential trauma that may happen and feel like they have a little control in the situation. It's hard to prevent anything, so really our job is to give them the resources to be able to help others during situations like this.
The workshop includes teaching students how to administer CPR and how to stop a bleed.
It's a 2-hour session, so we do stop the bleed and hands-only CPR. There's a lecture portion for each subject, and then we break out into groups and have hands-on session with equipment. So we bring legs, we bring all of the gauze we use, the tourniquets, mannequins, actually allow the children to have the hands-on experience so they can get the most learning.
Tighten this little rod over here is then going to be turned. You can turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, either way.
The goal of Stop the Bleed is to try to decrease as much bleeding as possible before a patient gets to the hospital. And the people that will be best to be able to do that are the people at the scene. And we thought it would be good to expand by helping to teach children CPR. We do hands-only CPR. They also get training in AED. I mean, these are skills that sometimes even adults don't know how to do.
Starting as young as 6th grade, one of the Safety Day nurses tells me the students are very receptive to the workshop and eager to learn.
Honestly, they love it.
They love it, yeah.
They ask so many questions,
Yeah.
and it's amazing to see we teach as young as 6th grade, their goals and the questions that they have. You know, they're very aware of the world, and they ask down to things about insurance and
Yes.
just kind of what
Yeah.
we do. We have such a variety of instructors from the surgical department, the EMS department, the trauma department, the transport team. So we really come together as a collaborative group to also give the kids an opportunity to ask questions about our professionalism and what we do on a day-to-day basis.
And many of them will come up to us afterwards and talk to us about how to get into medicine, how to get into nursing. And so I think it's also access to the community for various fields of training as well.
The Safety Day workshops are free of charge, and if you want Lurie Children's Hospital to host a Safety Day workshop at your school or business, you can contact the Pediatric Trauma Unit directly. Now that we've learned about Lurie Children's Hospital's Safety Day mission and purpose, let's see what it looks like when this initiative is applied at a school in Chicago Heights. Located in the south suburbs of Chicago, Bloom High School participated in the Safety Day workshop Lurie Children's Hospital provides in March of this year. I spoke with Bloom High School principal Dr. Jerry Anderson about how her students reacted to the workshop.
My goodness, you should have seen them. They really were paying close attention, practicing, having people check it to be sure that they got it right. One was hands-only CPR, and another one was called Stop the Bleed, which is really a way that you could stop, like if a student or any person had some kind of deep wound, how do you stop the bleeding?
The Bloom High School students who are a part of the STEM program and junior ROTC took advantage of this workshop and were eager to learn more than just the typical workshop information.
The Bloom High School was amazing. They incorporated it into their science and ROTC classes. So it was geared to very specific learning that they're interested in and getting credit for. They had 75 students there, and they were amazing. They stayed and asked a lot of questions about our profession. And, you know, we had a range from nurses to paramedics to surgeons and emergency medicine doctors.
What happens? What could you use to mark it, the time? Blood. Go ahead. The blood.
Dr. Anderson says these life-changing skills Lurie Children's provides empower students to feel more helpful on the scene.
Well, you know, it's our reality today. And I mean, as much as I hate to say that it's our reality, for this generation of young people to hear about someone their age dying is not an unusual thing, you know, whether it's in school or out of school. And that's really unfortunate, but that's the reality. And why not empower them?
From learning about the Safety Day mission and purpose to applying that mission in Chicago Heights, Lurie Children's and Bloom High School are doing what they can to keep students alive. Thanks for watching. I'm Kennedy Chase. Up next, Kyle Williams talks to us about the Chicago Cubs and how the team continues to make a difference in the lives of students.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Hello, and welcome to Medill Newsmakers. I'm Kyle Williams. With Cubs Charities, the Chicago Cubs are one of the most charitable teams in baseball. Throughout its 7 programs, Cubs Charities use sports-based youth development and academic programming to invest in the youth of Chicago. Now, we're going to take a look at how the Chicago Cubs are making a difference in the city. Cub Scholars started in 2013. The program started out by giving out 5 $20,000 scholarships to students in Chicago. In addition to the scholarship dollars, Cub Scholars provides mentorship to their students. Many have returned to the program as mentors and ambassadors. Recently, the program admitted its 11th class of Cub Scholars. Jennifer Dees Novak is involved in the interview process, from getting them through their college prep experience to matching them with their mentors.
On May 8th, members of the Cub Scholars program went to Lakeview High School to surprise the new members of the program.
Because we knew that there was a lower graduation rate from college amongst kids in Chicago. And so we saw a gap there, and we thought, we had a lot of resources here, whether those were financial, or a lot of educated and college graduates within our organization that could also help.
In addition to the scholarship money, the program offers Cubs College Prep, which prepares students for the college process. Students also go through Chicago Scholars, which is a nonprofit that accepts students starting in their junior year and assists in finding schools that fit the individual student.
They also learn skills that we might have experts at the Cubs to guide them through. So for example, if they're going to be interviewing with colleges, then we have one of our experts in interviewing, someone usually like our vice president of human resources will come in and talk to the group about best practices for interviewing. What we try to do is do that along the way, like pair people here who have a lot of expertise with our students just to help them get to the next level.
For Deeds Novak, the reward is seeing the impact the scholarship has on students.
The other day, we were about to tell kids, and I was at another event, and I'm like, I have to go because we're going to go surprise some kids and let them know that they're getting the Club Scholarship. And the person said to me, they're like, oh my gosh, you're going to change 2 people's lives today. That was really exciting that, someone kind of brought that to my attention.
Now that we have seen how Cubs Scholars has come to be, there are almost 100 students in the Cubs family. Dees Novak says she loves when the older scholars, most of whom have graduated from college and have jobs, interact with the new students. She believes that's what makes the program special. Let's hear from the scholars old and new on how the program has benefited them.
The cohort has expanded over the years from 5 students to 8 students to 10 students. Each student receives a $20,000 scholarship. Dees Novak said that she enjoys seeing the high school students grow from high schoolers into adults.
My very favorite thing about seeing our scholars interact together is when they've started out as seniors in high school. Kids have come from all different parts of the city. They don't know each other. They probably never would have met if otherwise. And then seeing them kind of build this group of people in this network that they can rely on, and people that they can come back to Chicago and meet with, and it's not like a day has passed.
Kelly Nguyen is a junior at Lakeview High School. She applied for the Cub Scholarship but didn't know when she was going to find out if she received it until members of Cub Scholars surprised her in class.
Okay, when the door opened, everyone ran in, everyone rushed in. It was so nervous. I didn't know it was for me. I just thought it was one of the school stuff. So I was not expecting that. I was so shocked, and everyone was watching me. So I was so nervous.
Nguyen is excited to meet her fellow students and mentor, but she couldn't get over her anxiousness.
I'm so nervous. I'm really happy about it, but right now, it's really nervous.
Journey Lockridge is a graduate of the program after receiving the scholarship in 2017. She used the scholarship to help her attend Howard University, a historically black college or university in Washington, D.C.
It means everything to me. I always give all glory to God. So literally, I feel like I prayed for that moment. I prayed for that call. I prayed for the scholarship. So it means everything to me, and also proved to me that I can do anything I put my mind to. Because I just remember the long nights of just rereading my application over and over, preparing for the interviews. It just shows me that I can do anything I put my mind to, and also to show my sisters that they can do anything they put their mind to.
Lockridge says she wants to continue paving the way for students after her. Cub Scholars helped her when it came to Limitless Initiatives, a platform she is trying to turn into a nonprofit.
Each year I host a toy drive, and because I don't have a official 501c3, Jen was very gracious enough to get the Cubs to help donate gift cards to the students, Target gift cards, which helped tremendously because I was able to help 40 more students with those gift cards that she was able to donate. And I just feel like the Cubs have been a very intricate part in making sure that any dreams that I do have or I express to them, they support me in that. So I truly appreciate the support.
Going through Cubs College Prep, Lockridge said, was very beneficial for her.
With over $100,000 given out each year, Cub Scholars is helping the youth of Chicago in their pursuits of higher education. Since 2013, 96% of Cub Scholars have received an undergraduate degree. The program has committed more than $1.2 million in scholarships. For Medill Newsmakers, I'm Kyle Williams. Coming up after the break, Kirsten Lindquist has more on one of Chicago's fastest growing sports. Stay with us.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute. They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to Medill Newsmakers. I'm Kirsten Lindquist. When most people think of Chicago sports, ultimate frisbee isn't top of mind, but it's one of the fastest growing sports, with even talks of the sport making an appearance at the 2028 Olympics. And the Chicago Union is making a name for itself here within the sport.
According to USA Ultimate, more than 7 million compete worldwide, and roughly 3 million people play in the United States. The American Ultimate Disc League, or AUDL, is the premier professional league in the United States. In 2012, the league formed with 8 teams. Chicago joined as an expansion team a year later, and the AUDL has since spread to 25 teams across the U.S. and Canada, split into 4 different divisions. Originally under the name the Windy City Wildfire, the team rebranded to its current name, Chicago Union, to represent the blue-collar nature of the city. The Union competes in the Central Division against teams like the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds, the Detroit Mechanics, the Madison Radicals, the Minnesota Wind Chill, and the Indianapolis Alley Cats. The sport combines the rules of multiple other sports, playing on a large field with 2 end zones. Teams are comprised of 7 players and begin each drive with a pole, similar to an opening kickoff in football. The team then has to pass the disc from one player to the next without dropping it, or taking steps while holding it, kind of like a travel in basketball. A game full of huge interceptions, diving layouts, and clutch blocks. The team with the most points after 4 12-minute quarters wins. For the most part, a number of professional teams in Chicago are currently in a rebuilding phase, or in the middle stages of constructing a winning team.
The Union? Quite the opposite, even boasting a 13-2 record last season. And the Union is hungry for a championship win after making it there last season. I caught up with the team and fans to see what all the hype was about.
Let's go Union! Let's go Union!
The Chicago Union on the hunt for its first AUDL title after 2 strong seasons, drawing a loyal fan base with it.
It's just fun. I mean, it's a really good way to be in community with people. I love the name Union.
Played on Chicago's South Side, just steps away from the Green Line. For some players, playing close to home means everything.
I grew up in Oswego. There's no commute, right? It's literally just a 20-minute drive or a 15, 30-minute train line. It's awesome. It's so great.
Fans and players share one ultimate goal.
To see this sport at like the highest level it can be, and I like the competition.
And sharing the sport with the next generation.
Once a youth pipeline gets formed, 10, 20 years from now, all these kids out here that are playing right now will someday be on this field playing, and they will be a whole lot better than we are.
A united, family-friendly environment open to newcomers.
It's a fast-paced game. The food, the beer, the energy, it's all good here. And when we get warm weather games like this, we got to utilize them. So give it a try, come out.
Coming off that game, I also caught up with head coach Dave Woods to talk about the group of guys he has taking the field and his hopes for the team making it back to another chance at a championship trophy.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and chat with me. So Dave, you are no stranger to the sport. You started off playing in high school.
I'd like to say that I played a version of the sport with my high school friends, but it was a full contact version. It had very few rules, and it almost always resulted in somebody going home injured and crying. So not quite the level that we play at in the AUDL.
No, definitely a little bit different. And you played and coached, not just in college, but also in Kansas City. How did you make the switch to Chicago?
I tried out for the team, was surprised to find that I made the team, and actually had a professional ultimate career before I found my first professional job in Chicago.
Very cool. So looking at this team, what would you say are the biggest strengths of this group of guys that you have?
We have some very talented offense power. We're returning several of our offensive players this year that took us to championship weekend last season. A few more newcomers this year than we have in the past. So that's kind of an exciting new thing for this season. We have always played a very team-based style of defense. So we're really eager to see that come to fruition.
You know, coming off last season, making it all the way to the championship title game, are you guys coming into this season hoping for revenge?
As much as I'd like to say we're going to take it 100% guaranteed, you can count on the Union. I think this year our division is going to be very heavily contested and is going to come down to some very close games. Don't focus on the score, focus on the task at hand. We're going to take this season one game at a time, one quarter at a time, 1 point at a time.
Yeah, well said. For those who don't know the sport or want to come out and watch, what would be your message to get them to come out to games this season?
Chicago, like you said, is a great sports city with a lot of fans watching a lot of different types of sports that I'm sure would fall in love with Ultimate if they came out to watch the Chicago Union play at De La Salle Institute. It's a very family-friendly environment. We've got great fans that are regulars that welcome in new fans. We try to make our home game experience as approachable as the sport itself. And, you know, it's all like a big united family.
And taking a look at the remaining home schedule for the Union, tickets start at $15 a piece and are on sale now. Visit shop.gochicagounion.com for more information.
And that's all for this episode of Medill Newsmakers. I'm Kirsten Lindquist. Thanks for watching.